Hello, everyone. I am here. If you can believe that. Oh my God. I've been I've been busy. Can you turn that on? That one over there. I look kind of a little bit grainy to me.
Reading.
Woo! All right, y'all. I've been traveling. Last month it's been that and that one. I think it's been a month. Yes. I think it's been a month since I've been on. Um, maybe. The last time I was on, we were on our anniversary trip. If you guys remember that, if you didn't see that, then go back and I didn't record all that. I'm just saying. I was gone. Then we came back and we were back for about I had a meeting that I had to go to. And then right after that, we left again on business. So we're not quite finished, but we're getting closer to home. So anyway, um, I hope you guys are doing all right. Make sure you sign in at the chat, say who you are and where you're signaling from, and I will get into what it is I need to get into. If you saw the title, hey there, how you doing, Carolyn? If you saw the title and I said don't let them gaslight you, it really is what it is. Okay, listen, folks. I'm gonna go over some things. Some people are tuning in for the first time, right? So let me give you a disclaimer. I'm an equal opportunity offender. Okay. So I don't care what religion you are, I don't care what race you are, I don't care about any of that. I'm just going to tell you the truth as I see it. And you may get offended, you may not, you can stay, you may leave, I don't care. Okay. So my position is to try to um, inform people, as many people as I can, as to what is going on in our society and how perhaps you may be able to navigate yourself and your family around this. Okay. What I will not do is minimize the danger that this country is in. And it's not just our country. Okay. If you watch Europe, and those of you that have been following me for a long time, you know that I look and I try to keep tabs on what's going on in other countries. Because as I've said so many times before, um, the powers that be are all playing by the same playbook. It's just that every country is on a different page in the same book. All right. So this started many, many years ago. Just a handful of people decided they wanted to control the world. This is not new. This originally um, originated in heaven, but I won't even get into Lucifer. All right, but let's just say the beat goes on. So here we are now, eons later, and you still have these demonically inspired individuals who want you dead. They hate you. They hate me. I don't care. You might. I don't. Okay. You don't do the kind of things that are happening to this country unless you absolutely intend to destroy it and tear it down. Okay. You don't allow millions upon millions of people without impunity to break laws that are written on the books, pay people to turn a blind eye to it, and then get on national television and tell you it's not happening. Okay. All right. That's gaslighting. That's telling you that you are sitting down when you know that you're literally standing up. They will look you in the face and lie to you and tell you that it is not what you see. Does anybody remember the young reporter that was standing in front of a burning building talking about it was a mostly peaceful protest? Remember that? I mean, how bizarre is that? So at this point, people have gotten to where they're going to be. I don't know that there's very many people at this juncture that are going to wake up to what is really going on. And I also understand that different people are at different places in their understanding as far as what is happening to our country into our world. But I will tell you this, if you don't get it by now that they don't care about you, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know who needs to talk to you or shake you or slap you in the face or what. I don't know what needs to happen. But let's just run down some things that are going on. Let's go back to where the whole world was paralyzed, okay, with fear over something that they initiated. Okay, these people at the top of the food chain initiated this whole thing as a psychological operation to enslave the entire world. All right. And it worked for a lot of people. It didn't work for me. Okay. But it worked for a lot of people. And a lot of people are sleeping in their graves right now because they drank the Kool Aid. Now, that expression, drink the Kool Aid, I know I'm dating myself, but I know the demographics of my audience. So you may know what I'm referring to when I say drank the Kool Aid. I'm talking about Jim Jones and how he led all those people to their death with his enticing words of man's wisdom. All right. Now, if you know anything about the scriptures, the scriptures talk about what we're seeing right now playing out in front of us would be playing out in front of us. Okay. So I'm not surprised by what I see. I am astounded at the level of evil that people are capable of. And I was talking to my husband about this not too long ago. And I said, I was trying to tell people, you know, a couple of years back, I said, people are not going to be able to wrap their mind around the level of evil we're going to be dealing with. And if you have a conscience and you have any fear of God at all, your mind doesn't even go to where these people go. It just doesn't. You know, they are bloodthirsty war whores. Okay, they don't care about sending your family members into a fight where they may never come back from, unless they come back in a body bag in pieces for financial gain. They care nothing about sending your son, your daughter, your grandson, your granddaughter to war to fight for a lie. Okay, because what they will tell you is for the greater good. What they'll tell you is this country is going to infringe on this country, and then everything, they're going to take over the whole, you know, section of the world, and we're all going to be in trouble. They will tell you anything. They'll tell you anything for money and power. And the fact that you and I are being put at the bottom of their list in plain sight ought to tell you they don't care about you. I keep telling you this. If anybody is still under the mindset that you are loved, okay, not by these people. All right, I'm just going to tell you, they don't love you. They don't love your kids. They don't love your mama. They don't love nothing about you, especially if you love life, liberty, and the right to pursue happiness. They really don't like you. Okay, they don't like you. So, are you getting the picture yet? This is what I want to know. Hi, Sheila. My concern right now, mostly, I think, is all of the scandalous behavior, the compromising, the absolute apostasy that is going on in the religious community. I saw an interview a couple days ago. I don't even know what state I was in at the time, but I saw an interview with the Pope. This lady was interviewing the Pope. Let me tell you something about the Pope. The man has been called the Black Pope, not because of his race, because he ain't black. He's Italian or whatever. But because of his doctrine and his dogma. This man went on record by saying that anyone who pursues or seeks a personal relationship with God or Christ is in serious trouble It's not good for them to do that. What minister of the gospel says that? Okay, this guy is not a Christian. Okay, he is an apostate. He's not a Christian. So if you're Catholic, God bless you. You better run. Okay, that guy is going to take you straight to hell. If you follow him, that's where you're going. I'm just telling you. There's no way in the world. I ain't even gonna get there. I ain't even. Anyway, look. make sure you sign. Make sure you sign in. I'm not. I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. I ain't doing it. All right. Look. I wrote. I wrote some stuff down that I think is important. If you've been watching the news, one of the things that you have been hearing about is the abuse of animals that are happening by some visitors, unwanted visitors, that are literally hunting in public places, taking the ducks, taking the cats, taking the geese, killing them, decapitating them, leaving the head there, walking off, and I guess they're eating them. I saw a videotape, and no, it was not photoshopped, it wasn't doctored, it wasn't none of that, okay? Where these women, this lady, she had another lady with her, were talking to the police because she was looking for her cat. She could not find her cat. She was calling the cat like she always does, and the cat usually comes running. Anyway, she finally found the cat, but when she found the cat, there was a woman with the cat on the sidewalk. The woman had killed the cat, gutted the cat, was eating the cat right there in broad daylight, raw. She didn't even cook the cat. Okay, she was just eating it. Now, we have heard reports about Venezuela and other countries are emptying their prisons, their mental institutions, and they're busing all these people into our country. Okay, I have no doubt that something was terribly wrong with this lady. She needed some help. So anyhow, when the police came, they were still talking to the owner, and they said, "Is this your cat?" And she said, "Yes, sir." And when I got here, when I finally found her, she was sitting on the ground eating my cat, and they arrested her. They put her in handcuffs. The lady, and the police got on his radio and asked them to dispatch animal control to come and retrieve the carcass off the street. This is happening, folks. So when you have the governor of a state trying to gaslight you and tell you that this stuff is not happening, he's a liar. All right. I'm telling you, he's lying. My husband and I passed through there in our journeys, in our business. We passed through there. I thank God I didn't see that. Okay. But I have heard the testimony of people they're upset. I've seen town hall meetings. This is not just happening in Colorado. Okay. This is happening in other places. This is happening in Texas. It's happening in other places. And I saw a town hall meeting where this woman she was upset. There was another gentleman that they let speak. He was upset. He says, "I don't know how you can sit there in your suits, sitting in those chairs, knowing what's going on out here, where they are decapitating animals and just leaving the heads laying there on the street. And you just sitting there with your suits on in your chairs, not doing anything about it, not doing anything to protect the citizens, and you're getting paid." He says, "I don't understand how you can sit there and do nothing when you know what is going on." You know what their response was when his time was up? "Thank you for coming." They don't care. I'm telling you, they don't care. This is not a joke, folks. Listen, the United States was one of the most formidable nations on the planet when it comes to war and all that. We had superior weapons, we had superior soldiers, we had it going on. In the last 4 years, ever since we left all of our brand new equipment under this administration in the hands of an enemy that we had kept at bay for 20 years, we left our equipment in their hands, just turned it over to them. Just turned it like cowards, just turned it over to them and left Afghanistan. And not only did we leave, but we left our people there. We left our people there, and the current administration did nothing to retrieve those Americans. But yet they were bussing in other people, flying in other people on taxpayers' expense who were not vaccinated, who did not have to be vaccinated, were not checked, were immediately registered into the Democrat Party, whether they wanted to be or not. I mean, they have them probably don't even know that's what it is. But you know how it goes. The promise is, now vote for me, I'll set you free. Okay, remember that song? So there was that. All these promises made. We're going to make sure that you have what you need. We're going to make sure that you have a place to stay. You're going to have food. We're going to take care of your medical. We're going to do all this. And then they start sending them to New York. They was busting them in all over the place. And these different states were like, nope. They start sending them to New York. And these other states that said, we're a sanctuary state. We love everybody. We want to embrace everybody. Now they're crying in their beer over how many people have come in and absolutely destroyed their cities, their five-star hotels, their restaurants, and how crime and theft and everything has skyrocketed. Meanwhile, Venezuela said our crime rate is down 75%. Well, ours is up 75%. Okay. You know why? Because they let their quackadoodles come over here. And they were invited by this government. This current administration took your tax dollars, your children's tax dollars, and literally flew them in to our country and didn't ask you how you felt about it, and you're the taxpayer. Did it on your dime, okay? That's how much they think of you. That's how much they care about you. So here we are. Make sure you sign in, guys, because I see how many are on, but I don't see your names or anything in the chat box. So here we are, dealing with the madness that has come across the borders. Now, they've lied and told these people they're going to take care of them. But there was a caveat, and they didn't tell them the second part. And that is, we will take care of you if you're single for 30 days. And we will take care of you if you have a family for 60 days. And then after that, well, good luck. They didn't tell them that part. They didn't tell them that part. So now look at New York. Just look, go online and Google New York City migrant crisis. Just Google it, right? Or go on YouTube, New York City migrant crisis, and look at what is happening to that city in that state. Look at what's happening, folks. They're putting people everywhere. They're sticking them wherever they can find a space to do it. And I'm telling you, if something doesn't turn around really, really fast, we need divine intervention, because these people have gone over the mental cliff. Okay. They are absolutely out of their minds. They know what they're doing. They're demonically charged to do what they're doing. They mean what they're, this is not a oops. All right. And the things that they are accusing the other presidential candidate of doing is the very thing that they are doing. I started noticing that when Hillary Clinton was running. It was like everything that she's saying and accusing her opposition of doing is the exact same thing that she's doing. That's exactly what she's doing. You know, she was the one that sold all that uranium to Russia, but let her tell it. It was the other candidate that had all this Russia stuff going on. I'm telling you, these people are evil. They're evil. So here's the thing. The question is that you need to be asking yourself and your family members, what are you going to do? Because if you think that these people are not in your city, you're wrong. Okay? This administration has allowed 20 million people undocumented to come into this country, and they don't know where they are. And 300 and something thousand children have gone missing. I'd like to know where they went. Where are they? When the country is being run by pedophiles, psychopaths, and narcissists, and these kids come up missing and nobody is trying to find them. I mean, I don't know what it takes for people to understand that. I don't think you want 4 more years of this. Okay, I'm just saying this is evil beyond the cliff. This is evil. So these same people are beating the drum of gun control. That's what they do, right? They will manufacture some type of a school crisis, pull on the heartstrings of the community, use their grief as their talking point, and say, we have to have sensible gun laws. But how come they ain't saying that to the migrants that are coming in, that are holding up people on the streets, that are allowed to go into stores and take as much as they want, as long as it's under $1,000? They will not be prosecuted for it, whether it's at gunpoint or not. As long as they don't use violence, there won't be any prosecution for it. All right. Well, you can point a gun at somebody and not actually pull the trigger, right? But they're going into these stores. You know how many stores are closing down? Big Lots, or they're shutting their doors. All these different places are closing their doors. And in the meantime, there's this ongoing crisis with food. It's like every single week, there's another issue with the food chain. There's another issue with the food supply. There's something wrong with the water. Everything that we touch is toxic, some way or another. The water's polluted. How long did they go on in Flint, Michigan, talking about everything was fine? And they knew that the water was contaminated. They knew it. This is what we're dealing with, folks. All right? So if you're looking for justice, it's coming from God, because it sure ain't coming from the government. There is no justice. It's just us. All right? You better get that around your head, because if you're looking for them to come and save you, they ain't going to do it. All right? They have already proven to you that they will save somebody who has never put a dime into this society to help grow it, maintain it, sustain it, or anything. They will give them all of your tax dollars for their vote. Okay, that's what it's all about. It's not because they love these people. It's not because Maxine Waters goes on television talking about these people have been left in a crisis and their assets and everything have been stripped from them, and we owe it to them to take care of them. Well, first of all, the United States went over there with the Clinton Foundation and stripped them of their assets in Haiti. Okay, stripped them. Ask for all this money, ask for all these donations. We're going to rebuild after they had that big hurricane over there. We're going to rebuild. We need all this money to come in. Reach deep into your pockets and into your heart. Let's help humanity, blah, blah, blah. That's what the Clinton Foundation did. They took in billions. I don't even remember what the figure was, but it was billions of dollars that they took in, and they built 5 houses. 5. And she gave her brother a gold mine. Okay? Bought a gold mine for her brother. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about people. People are expendable, all right? The people are these things that you use to get what you want. That's how they see you. You're a thing that they can use to get what they want. So I want you to do some serious thinking about what happens if you have chickens and your chickens start coming up missing? Or what happens when you go into a store and someone wants to take something from you and everybody is scared to help you because they think they're going to be, if they try to help you, they're going to be the ones that end up in jail. That's what they do in China. You can be in a serious accident in China, or somebody see you fall out in the street. They're not going to help you. You know why? Because you will be sued. They will accuse you of doing the harm to them because it's a ploy to get money. This is the world we're living in now, folks. Okay, and so I had somebody tell me one time, well, I guess I see the world with rose-colored glasses. I said, well, you better grow up. All right. This man was older than me. I mean, older, and I ain't no spring chicken. Okay. This guy was older than me by a good, I don't know, 15 years. A good 10, 15, well, 15, almost 20 years older than me. And he told me that. Ain't nothing wrong with my eyes, okay? I see what I see. I see more than I want to see. I'll tell you that right now. So I'll be trying not to see some stuff. But anyhow, listen. This is what they're doing. They're going to beat the drum of gun control. So let me ask you something. I want you to think about it. You ain't got to answer me unless you want to. But here's the question. If they say to you, we're going to make it illegal for you to have a weapon, whether it's open carry, concealed carry, whatever, we're going to make it illegal. Now, the vice president said, when I get into office, I'm going to make a mandatory gun buyback. First of all, you didn't sell it to me. So how would you buy anything back from anybody? Right? And how would you make it mandatory for the American people to violate their Second Amendment right to protect themselves, their property, and their families? That is an inalienable right. It didn't come from the government. It came from God. Now, for those of you who don't believe in God, well, you're just screwed, okay? But for the rest of us, my husband's shaking his head. Sorry. Anyhow. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just he's laughing at me because I'm feeling some kind of way. Anyway, seriously, look, if you don't believe in God, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know who you believe in or what you believe in, but you better reach a little higher than yourself. Okay, and you sure better reach higher than this government or any other government around the world, because they are corrupt and godless. All right, these people have a bloodlust. They have no problem killing children. None. No problem killing children, disappearing them, raping them, whatever. They have no problems doing this stuff. They have no conscience. They don't have God. They hate God. When do you hear them pray? They hate God. I remember watching a debate once. They didn't even have the American flag on the platform. Okay. And I told somebody, I said, did you notice that at their convention, they didn't even have the American flag on their platform? Now, I'm not talking about this last one, because they was called on the carpet for that one. There was such a ruckus, and everybody noticed it. So they thought, oh, well, we got to go ahead and put that flag up there. I remember seeing a video clip of some kind of a celebration was going on. And Michelle Obama said to Barack Obama, all of this over a D flag. Yes, she did. They hate this country. These people are Marxists. They're communists. They're fascists. They're everything that they accuse people who want to pursue life, liberty, and happiness of being. They're accusing you of being the very thing that they are promoting and acting out right in front of you. And so my question to you is, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because 4 years ago, I told a group of people that I talked to, before the second, 30 days to slow the spread. Listen, I told them, I said, let me tell you right now, first of all, I'm not playing this game. And second of all, You better get it figured out right now which side of this you're on, because I know where this is going. And it went exactly, well, they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. You give them an inch, they want to take a mile. You give them a rope, they want to be a cowboy. You can't give them nothing, because they will seize upon it and take advantage of you. They are counting on you being stupid enough to believe anything they tell you, because they use these enticing words of man's wisdom, and they, the scripture talks about this, folks. And those of you that are Christian, you better listen. You better get in that book and see what God told you was going to happen. All right, because that is what's happening. And let me tell you something else. He said, if it's possible, even the very elect would be deceived. If you think you can't be deceived, you're wrong. All right, that's what deception is. That's the problem with deception. You don't know you're deceived. Okay, that's the problem with it. So listen, let me get into some practical things here. Our streets are dangerous. You have got to be careful. Don't take anything for granted. When my husband and I go to the store, especially traveling through the country like we have been doing over this last month, when he leaves the car, if I'm still in the car, I lock the doors. Okay, I don't take for granted. Before, he would just shut the door and go do whatever he needed to go do, and I'd wait in the car, and that was it. You can't do that now. You cannot do that. I don't care if you live in the country, because they are busing these people into the country and they're taking over people's homes. Now, if you listen to what's going on in Colorado, where they're taking over these apartment complexes, everybody knows it. And the mayor and the governor have the gall to get on television and tell the whole world that it's not happening. I mean, they literally said it's not happening. And I quote, it's a figment of their imagination. That's what the governor said. You tell that to the people whose homes have been surrendered to gangs, because the owners of these apartment complexes have gotten some kind of a big payday from the government, or some kind of a big payday from whoever, to allow these gangs to run rampant in these cities and these apartment complexes. And now the tenants have to pay the drug lords and the gang chiefs, or they have to get out. They have nowhere else to go. Some of these people are low income. They can't move. They don't have the money to go anywhere else. They don't have the means to go anywhere else. Some of these people are disabled. They don't leave their home. They can't do anything. And the owners have literally surrendered to the gang members. And you think we're not living in perilous times? You better open your eyes. I'm telling you, this is a serious matter. It's a very serious matter. When someone is on the national mic or at a debate and they're talking about this is going to be the largest deportation effort in the history of our country, we have got to take care of America. We've got to take care of our people. And somebody is opposing that. I mean, they're telling you they don't care about you. So I just want you to consider that. I want you to consider that this is not a popularity contest. This is one of the most important elections of your lifetime. Okay? This election, and I will say if we even have one, is going to unleash all kinds of hell onto this earth. You watch what I tell you. And I'm telling you, it doesn't even matter who wins, because some folks is just nuts. They're just crazy. And when they can't have their way or they feel threatened, they're coming to burn down your house, or they're going to burn down the neighborhood store, or they're going to have the summer of love, or whatever it is you want to call it. They're destructive. They lie. They steal. They destroy. What does the Bible say about that? The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And they have killed, and nobody went to prison for it. Nobody went to prison for it. Now, if the Republican Party wins the election, the Democrat Party is going to lose their mind. They're just going to lose their mind. They lost their mind last time. They lost their mind last time, and they say they won. All right. So if they lose, you think last time was something 4 years ago? You just wait. You just wait and see how these fools come all the way out the bag, okay? And if they win, they're still going to do it because now they have the power that they want to enslave as many people as they want to make them obey so that they can be in control. They want to be in control of your health. Did you know that on the 22nd of this month, they're going to be voting on whether you lose your bodily autonomy or not? Did you know that? On the 22nd of this month, somebody else is going to decide for you whether you should or should not have medication, whether you should or should not have medical treatment, whether you should or should not have that surgery that you needed, or whether you should or should not have a say in what drugs get pushed into your arm. 22nd of this month, folks. That's how close it is. Today is the 13th. I suggest you pray. Okay? Because they want to own you. When you lose the right to make a decision about your own health, you have become a slave. And don't even try to paint that with some kind of a justification for abortion because you're sick, okay? That ain't even what I'm talking about. When you're dealing with a pregnancy, that ain't your body. That's somebody else living inside of you who did not have a voice in whether they lived or died. So don't even go there with me, okay? That just ain't gonna wash. I'm sorry. That is the shedding of innocent blood, and God hates it, all right? So just so you're clear, don't try to get away with that one. Anyway, all right, y'all. Oh, geez. Listen, I just wanted to catch y'all up on what was happening and to encourage you not to let them gaslight you. You can just about bank on it. I'd bank on it that anything they say is a lie. Anything they say, they don't know how to tell the truth. They don't know how to tell the truth. All they know how to do is lie, manipulate the whole 9 yards. That's all they know how to do. Play games, cheat at elections. That's all they know how to do. So anything they say, lie. I gave y'all some examples before when they talked about the Affordable Care Act. That whole debacle, right? You ended up, those of you that still work, paying for everybody else's health care because your prices, your premiums, and all that stuff jacked up sky high. I know people who were paying $200 and something a month. All of a sudden, they're expected to pay a $1,500 deductible plus $500 a month. It was crazy. They couldn't afford it. It was cheaper for them to pay the fine than it was for them to enroll in the Affordable Care Act. Nobody could afford it. Okay. So there's that. So there's, you have to listen to all this stuff because they use these flowery words that make it sound like they care about you and they're going to take care of you. Hi, Margaret. And it ain't even about you. What happened to all this money that went to Ukraine? Billions upon billions of dollars went to Ukraine. Do you have anything to show for that? Because I didn't get my piece. Okay, whatever the piece of the pie that I was supposed to get, I didn't get that. I didn't get a thank you. I didn't get nothing. Where's your money? Did you get your stuff? Okay, because a whole lot of money went to Ukraine. A whole lot of money. And then when you ask, okay, so what happened when it got to Ukraine? Nobody knows. Well, somebody knows, right? It got backwashed back to a particular party here in the United States and their buddies around the world, and everybody was filling their pockets while they were sending your sons and daughters, your grandkids out there to fight get blown up, dismembered, and permanently scarred mentally and emotionally because they want more money. These people are sick, okay? They are sick. They are demonically charged. They have no conscience. Their conscience is seared like with a hot iron. They feel nothing for you. You need to sit down with your family. And if you don't have a family, sit down with yourself and figure out how you're going to navigate through this, because it's fixing to get rough, okay? Over there. You ain't seen nothing yet. It's getting ready to get crazy. So I want to encourage you. Winter is coming. I want to encourage you. First of all, please share this video. YouTube don't pay me for my time. They don't pay me for nothing. All right. I'm just trying to help as many people as I can and wake up as many people as I can. I'm surprised I'm still on here, but they are suppressing my videos. I don't care, because I'm dependent on you guys to hit the share button and send it to somebody. And if they don't want to listen to it, fine. I don't care. Just send it to as many people as you possibly can, and somebody will hear it. Somebody will hear what I'm saying, myself and others. Okay. So what I want to encourage you to do while we still got time, when you go shopping, you have got to check your food. You got to check your food. They've got all this genetically modified crap in these cans and stuff that are making people sick. People can't even get fruit because by the time they get it to their house, in 2 days, it's rotted. It's moldy. What is going on with this? It's like we're getting the dregs of somebody else's garbage being shipped to us, right? We're getting food that is inedible. We're getting food that's contaminated with micro forever plastics. It's in our water. It's in our food. It's in our meat. They're killing off the animals. They're killing off the chickens. They're trying to blame it on the birds. They're shutting down farmland. Now, for what? For solar farms? Well, we can't eat solar panels. All right. They are trying to create a mass extinction event. You cannot kill your food supply of a society and expect the people to live. I mean, it just doesn't work like that. You cannot go on a perpetual fast and live. At some point, you have to eat. At some point, you have to be able to drink water that is not contaminated. So since you know that they're doing this stuff, and if you didn't know it, I don't know where you've been, but now you know. You ain't going to stand in front of God and say, nobody told me, because I just did. Okay? So now, you have to be a label reader. You have to read the labels. Okay? You're going to have to take control of your diet. They are killing us with sugar and all kinds of stuff that is shutting down people's pancreas, giving them all these weird cancers. All this kind of stuff is going on because of what they're doing to the food and because of the forced medical experimental crap that they were putting in people's veins. Some people were killed by it. Some people are being killed by it slowly. Okay? You have to read labels. If you can. Find a way, excuse me. Let me get a drink here real quick. Oops. If you can, find a way to filter your water as best you can. Google it, look it up. You know, how do I make a filter for water? You have to take care of yourself, people, because they're not going to do it. They don't care about you. I can't even get that across as strongly as I mean it. They do not care about you. They don't. What they want is power. What they want is control. What they want is blood sacrifice. These people, listen, I could go somewhere with the whole blood sacrifice thing, but I ain't going to do it because some of y'all won't be able to sleep tonight. But I'm just going to tell you this. When they can use people like puppets and send them over to other countries who aren't threatening us. And I want to say this other country that they're gunning for, that they're trying to push us into a war. And that man has said that the United States is trying to provoke us to war. This is what Russia said. They're trying to provoke us to war. And I believe that that man is exercising a tremendous amount of control because our military has been so stripped down and so uh, demasculated, right? I mean, we got people in our military that the whole reason they went in there was to get their surgeries paid for by the taxpayer. Yeah, the current party, they did that too. Okay. They did that too. So we had men running around getting their nails done and wearing dresses, trying to be cute and inclusive. Everybody's included except for the people who actually see things right side up. Yeah, you ain't included. All right. Our military has been disgraced and has been stripped down to nothing. I would not, let me tell you, if I was, I don't know, 30, 40 years younger, and this military was in the condition that it's in now, there ain't enough money on the planet. They could pay me to be a part of that mess. It's a mess, okay? They can't even, they're not physically fit. They're not mentally fit. They can't handle anything. It's disgraceful. We ain't winning no wars with this bunch of folk that's in there now. And the ones that are in there, most of them are compromised. The generals certainly are. They're compromised. They don't want to lose their little, retirement and their pensions and all this kind of stuff. They're compromised and they've been involved in some international mess that they don't want exposed. So they're going to play ball. Anyway, read labels. Figure out a way to filter your water. You need to we don't have a whole lot of time left. And there could come a time in the very near future, where it's not safe to leave your house for several days, right? It could be your particular area. Something jumped off and it's not safe for you to leave your house. What are you going to do? So don't wait until it happens. And then you're trying to figure out, how am I going to get to the store? Or I'm running out of this, or I'm running out of that. Listen, start now. Okay, just start now and just start getting the things that you need as much as you can to sustain you for as long as possible. Because I'm telling you, it's fixing to go sideways. All right, it's going crazy. Just like I said last time, it's going to go nuts. And it did. It did. They was burning down cities and burning down buildings and breaking glass windows. And meanwhile, this administration was going down to the jailhouse, bailing them all out. That lets you know how lawless these people are. They have no respect for the rule of law. They have no respect for the Constitution. Barack Obama said the Constitution was an outdated document. That's what he said. He didn't believe in it. He's a Marxist. Kamala Harris is a Marxist. These people have a completely different vision for this country. And that is no country at all. All right. That is, we're going to tear it all down and build what we want. Nobody asked you. You live here. You're paying taxes. You voted for them. I didn't vote for them, but somebody did. It wasn't me. And they don't care nothing about what you think about what they're doing. So you're going to have to take care of yourself and your family. Let me read some of the comments. Margaret says, my daughter told me about this food where it's cheap, but the meat will go bad quick. Yeah. And let me tell you something else. It might gross you out, but let me tell you something else. I know different people have different grocery stores, Wawa and Walmart or whatever all else, in your particular area. A lot of times, I want to tell you this. When you go to the store and you see these packages of meat that have been marked down and they are already seasoned with a lot of paprika and all this kind of stuff, a lot of times it's because that meat was about to spoil and they covered up the stench with all those spices and stuff just waiting for the next sucker to come by and buy that crap. All right. Now, listen, I'm telling you what I'm telling you because I used to teach food, sanitation, and safety when I was in the military. All right. I know what I'm talking about. When I go into restaurants, I am their worst nightmare because I can look at a dish and I know exactly what they did to it. I, or what they didn't do to it. And there's some stuff I'm not going to eat. I will send it back. Listen, y'all need to do this again. Okay, I know what you did, and I'm not eating that. So they ain't see me coming. But anyway, so I'm telling you what I'm telling you because I know things that are safe to eat and what's not, how many days it needs to be out and or cooked or even in under refrigeration before you need to throw it away. Some things like with dairy, commercially, 3 days, you need to use it or lose it. All right. Eggs, for example. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into it. Okay, so with listen, watch your food. Okay. I told y'all this before. You need to get as much stuff as you can from reputable places. You may have to get it online from reputable places. And let me tell you something else. The walls are closing in because you can't even trust a label that says organic anymore. You know why? Because the FDA is corrupt. They're corrupt. They're corrupt. You pay them enough money, they'll sign off on anything. You have doctors now that are talking about the CDC, the FDA, and all these different people are so corrupt. They're so compromised. You know, one hand is washing the other, doing all this stuff, sitting on each other's boards. The pharmaceutical company is not interested in you getting well. They're interested in pushing their drugs. They are professional, legalized drug pushers. Okay. That's what they are. They are into sick care. They are not into wellness. They are not interested in you getting better because if you get better, who's going to buy their medicine? Why would they want you to get better? Think about that. Why is it that when I came off of my blood pressure medication and my blood pressure came down to normal range? What is that about? You question everything. Everything. I don't care who is, I don't care, question me. I don't care where it's coming from. You cannot trust what people say. You have got to question everything. Don't lose your ability to critically think. Because when you do that, you just become stupid and what they call a useless eater. And then you become really expendable. Then what they don't need you. They can't use you for anything. You're not good for anything. When you lose your ability or your willingness to think critically, to use your mind, to scrutinize. When you just say, well, I'm just going to go along to get along, well, you become a useful idiot. And they want to thank you for being available to them. Okay. So there you go. All right, folks. Has anybody else had problems with the food going bad in their area really, really quick? Margaret said her daughter had that problem. I don't know where she lives, what state she lives in, or whatever, all else. But stuff is going on all over the country like that. And listen, go in your kitchen, look in your pantry, and ask yourself, if something jumps off tomorrow and they decide they want to lock us down again indefinitely, how long will the food that I have in my pantry last me or my family? That's a real question. Because if you think about it, 4 years ago in 2020, there were people that were living in apartments in New York. And they ain't big apartments, okay? They were living in these little apartments in New York. They had these little apartment-sized refrigerators, tiny little kitchen with tiny little cabinets where they're almost having to shop every 2 days, every 3 days or something like that. And that it got bad, folks. Hey, Constitutional, how you doing? It got bad. These people didn't have anything to eat. The stores were shut down. They couldn't even go anywhere and get anything to eat, right? So I'm just telling you, look in your pantry, take a step back, and ask yourself, how long, if I was stuck here, if they shut me down and threatened to arrest me if I left my house, because they were doing that in China, okay? How long could I survive on what I have in my pantry right now? How long could I go? How much water do you have? What happens if you see all the hacking that's been going on? AT&T and all these, hey, how you doing? All this hacking and stuff that's been going on, shutting down this, shutting down that. This broke, that bank went offline. This pharmacy couldn't get online. All this stuff is going on. What happens if they hit the grid or they do something with our electrical where you realize it takes pumps to move the water through the city? I don't care what city it is, right? It takes pumps to do that. If you don't have electric, ain't nothing pumping, honey. Okay? So where would you get your water from? Where would you get your heat from? We're headed toward winter. We were just up north in the Northeast, I don't know, 3 days ago on business. And it was getting cooler. It was comfortable, but it was getting cooler. And one of the states we passed through, the leaves were starting to turn. So winter's coming. Do you have enough blankets? What if? You remember that freakish snowstorm that happened about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever that was? Crazy, crazy. And people's houses were covered in ice and snow. Some people died because they could not get out. How you going to keep yourself warm? What I'm trying to get across to you is it's on you. Okay? You have to take responsibility for your own well-being. The government is not coming to help you. I've been beating this drum for 4 years now, maybe longer. I think one of the biggest awakenings for me was when my husband and I went to the bank to get some money out because I was, I had my eye out looking for a car. And I don't do notes. I don't do car notes. I don't do notes. No. I paid my house off 13 years early because I don't like bills. And I don't, every card that we've had, we just paid for it. We don't do payments. Now I realize not everybody can do that, but we were able to do that. So we just paid for it. Not everybody can. I know that. But you got to do what you can do, right? You got to do what you can do. Look at the money situation. Our money is worth nothing. It's just that most of Americans don't know that. Our money ain't worth nothing. Then you got all these other countries that are coming together making their own money. Okay? The BRICS nations, they're coming together. They're tired of being held hostage by our country and by past administrations that just, we were taking care of so many countries. So much money was going out of our country, taking care of all these other countries, and they weren't doing nothing for us, just taxing us to the nines every time we imported some of their goods. They were just being ridiculous with us. I remember that happened with Canada, and Trudeau was getting in Trump's face, talking about we're not going to be bullied. Now, wait a minute. You guys getting all your milk and stuff from us, but you want to tax us ridiculously for the stuff that we want to get from you? No. Trump said, no. This is going to be fair. This is going to have to be a deal that works for both of us, not just you. And so that's what he did. And he said, strength, peace through strength, making these countries pay their fair share. Why are we footing the bill for everybody else with our lives, our blood, our finances? Now they're taking our land. I mean, come on, folks. They're not coming to help you. I can't make it no plainer than that. Don't let them gaslight you and tell you everything's fine because everything ain't fine. All right. I don't care if it's a Christian to tell you that. They're lying too. Everything is not fine. Okay. And let me tell you something else. If you sitting in a church and you have a pastor or a minister who is advocating this, you better find somewhere else to be. I mean that, because that is dangerous. What is happening now is an abomination. The shedding of innocent blood, the slaughtering of children, the trafficking of human beings, all this kind of stuff. If you are advocating for that, or you find yourself connected to that politically, you better repent and run as fast as you can. Because when God gets sick of this, he is sick of it. Okay? And when he gets sick of it, he is sick of it. And everybody's going to know it. So I've already asked the Lord, look, the last time you got really mad, you wiped everybody out with a flood. Can you just wait till I'm dead before you do that? Or just, just remember I'm here before you want to do something like that again. But anyhow, all right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. So you got an assignment, right? Read labels on the food. Find a way to store more water and more food and to filter your water because they got stuff in it, all right? Look into doing your own gardening, even if you have to do it in containers. And try not to buy GMO stuff, because here's the thing. They think they have a good idea. Here's their idea. We're going to take a seed from a plant and we're going to inject it with something so that it can withstand harsher weather, or there's something in it that will repel bugs so that the bugs won't eat the crops. Okay, I got a question. About that. If the bugs won't eat it, because it'll kill them, it's not like it disappears when we put it in our mouth. So what would it do to us over time if we're eating that stuff with glyphosate and all this stuff in it that causes cancer? So listen, y'all, there ain't nowhere safe. You need to know who Jesus is so he can hide you under the shelter of his wings. All right. God knows how to take care of what belongs to him. He knows how to take care of his own. Hi, Sandra. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Constitution. He knows how to take care of his own. And he'll give you the wisdom and tell you what to do when you need to do it. But you have to listen. You can't sit back and say, oh, well, I don't believe none of that. Well, you ain't got to believe it for it to be true. Right? All these people that we're talking about, these people, they just need another start in life. They just want someone to love them. Didn't bring a single immigrant into their home. Right? The border should be open. Do you leave your door open at night when you go to bed? Why do you have locks on your windows? See, the hypocrisy is just staggering to me, right? I don't believe everybody belongs in this country. I just don't. First of all, you have cultures and customs that will not blend with the United States. It will not. We're a melting pot. When people come here, you are supposed to melt into who we are as a nation and try to adapt to our way of life. When I lived in Germany, I had to adapt to their way of life. And I'm talking about I was stationed there, and then I went back and I lived there as a civilian. I had to adapt to their way of life. There were certain things you just did not do because it was against their culture. It was offensive. And you didn't do that when you went into somebody else's territory. You just don't do that. These people that are coming in have no respect for our culture at all. And some of them are really ticked off because they realized they were lied to and now they can't get back home. They can't go back home because they owe these coyotes that got them across the border illegally while Border Patrol is turning a blind eye. City mayors are acting like they don't know what's going on. They didn't see nothing. Immigrant? What immigrant? And governors are saying, it's just a figment of your imagination. Nobody's killing animals. I'm telling you, I saw the testimony of a gentleman. He says, I live here and it is absolutely happening. My husband and I passed through. Thank God we didn't stop. We did not stop. We just we just drove through. You know, we had to hit a lot of states on business, but we didn't stop. Not not this time. Do your homework. Yes. Margaret said she knows of a store that would bleach in their meat. Yeah, because it's rotting and they want to sell it anyway. So they will use food dye and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of tricks to get the stench off of it and then to try to put more color back into it by dipping it in a food grade red dye that other countries have banned because it causes cancer. All right. If you, no, well, never mind. Anyway, look, we're in trouble, folks, and God can help us, and He will. But you got to listen. You cannot. There, it is time out to stick your head in the sand, talking about, well, it ain't happening in my area. I don't see nothing going wrong here. Do you live on this planet? Because I'm telling you right now, this mess is happening everywhere. Everywhere where they have forced this migration onto these different countries, this stuff is happening. The United Kingdom is in shambles. Shambles, because they have allowed this to happen. And now they can't put the genie back in the bottle. It's a mess. It's a mess over there. And the last time we were over there, it's the weirdest thing. My husband and I were coming back. We, I don't know, we went to like 4 or 5 countries on one of our trips over there. And when we got on the plane, it was the weirdest thing. We got on the plane, we were headed back to the United States, and the plane hadn't taken off yet. But I heard a door shut behind me. It was spiritual though, but I heard a door shut behind me. And I looked at my husband and I said, I just heard a door shut. We're not coming back here. I don't know if that means ever or for a very long time, but I knew we weren't going back, and we haven't been back. And every time we thought about going back, there was some kind of crazy stuff going on over there. France was in ruins. They were burning down the city in France. It's just, stuff is crazy. It's dangerous. It's too dangerous. So here we are. So now we're traveling through the States, and I feel like, okay, glad we got that business taken care of because it looks like we're not going to be able to travel for a while, because not every state that you travel through would respect your right to defend yourself, especially if it's a blue state. You will go to jail. And that's the way Canada was. I had to get out of there. Do you know in Canada, if somebody breaks into your house, threatens to do you harm, does you harm, and you shoot them in self-defense, you are going to prison. You know that? If an intruder, let me repeat that in case you didn't get it, okay? If an intruder broke into your house, assaulted you, and you defended yourself, you are going to jail. Yeah, I had to get out of there, okay? They offered me citizenship twice. I'm like, are you on dog food? No, no thank. Because if you're not going to protect me and you're telling me I don't have the right to protect myself, I don't want to be here. And that's exactly what they're trying to do here. Anyway, let me let y'all guys go because, I can go crazy. So anyway, check your food, check your pantry, start stocking up if you have not. You already know what they can do. You already know that the 15 days turned into 3 years. All right? So you already know what they're capable of doing. And all this data is coming out where it was all just a bunch of baloney. It was one big experiment on a lot of levels. They wanted to see who's going to jump at the crack of our whip. How does this stuff, this cocktail that we made up in this lab really affect people? Because it's had a 100% death rate on animals. Let's see how it works on people. I'm telling you, these people have no conscience. They don't care nothing about you. Mm-mm. Look up the Tuskegee experiment. I'm just going to say that and leave that right there. Anyhow, all right, you guys. If you need some assistance in how to get started in preserving your food, or you may say, I don't know how to stock up anything, or you need to protect your finances, whatever you have in the bank, when they go completely digital, your money is in their hands. All right. So if you don't hold it, you don't own it. You need to find another way to convert your money over into a tangible asset, something that's easily liquidatable so that you do not lose everything that you have. Because what they were doing in China was with their social credit score, if they didn't like what you said or liked how you act, or some neighbor called in with a beef against you, the government would literally make you a non-person. You couldn't travel, you couldn't get on a plane, you couldn't get on a bus, you couldn't pay with anything, you couldn't pay for anything, because they at the flip of a switch, they shut off your money. So if you don't have an alternate way to pay your bills, the electric company doesn't care nothing about your social credit score. They want to get paid. What are you going to do? Right? So you need to today start unraveling yourself out of these systems as much as you possibly can, and find an alternate way of living, because they are not coming to help you. All they do is steal, kill, and destroy. All right. All right, you guys. So thanks for hanging out. I know it's been a month since I've been, but like I said, hey, I was traveling on business this time. And I'm not finished. I don't think. I don't know. I think when God says, okay, that's enough, don't go nowhere else, then I'll stop. But anyway, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you guys being here. You could be anywhere else, but you're here with me. How about that? Hmm. I appreciate that. I really do. And please help spread this message. I know I was kind of all over the place, but I always am. So there you go. And check your food, check your pantry, share the video, give it a thumbs up. Somebody did, because I see how many are on, but I only see I'm missing a thumbs up. So anyhow, I appreciate you guys, and just be careful. Be careful. Talk to your family, and life is not the way it used to be. I know what world I grew up in, and this isn't it. So just be careful. When you're out and about, make sure you know what's going on around you. People are desperate. There are some people that are doing things now that they never would have done, because they're in such a desperate situation now, because they've been done that way on purpose. And anyway, help who you can, but make sure that you and your family are taken care of. I will see you guys the next time I come on. Take care. God bless. Be vigilant. I'll see you later. Bye.